Hi boys and girls, Miss Wicks here. Welcome to your last ELA lesson of your second week of online learning. Let's take a look at what we're going to be doing today. If we peek up here, I'm just going to kind of try to bring my phone up. Today we're going to focus on describing comparisons, all right? And if we look at our learning target, we're going to be talking about describing the connections between ideas in a text and how it will help you understand what the author is explaining. So boys and girls, this has a lot to do with comparing and contrasting. Let's read a little bit more in depth about what exactly they want us looking at today. Authors work carefully to show connections among ideas in their writing. This means that they make sure readers understand how sentences and paragraphs are connected and why the connections are important. Boys and girls, notice how the word how and why are both in italic writing. That means we want to make sure that we emphasize them. Pay attention that these are two key things they want us paying attention to: how sentences and paragraphs are connected and why they are. Sometimes a writer shows connections by making a comparison between facts and ideas. Comparing means showing how two or more things are alike and different. Signal words such as like, as, also, and both show how things are alike. Signal words such as however, but, different, and unlike show how things are different. Boys and girls, these signal words should be familiar to you because we talked about how we use those when we're either reading text or when we're writing as our sequence words or as our transitional words. We use them a lot, and especially when we're making our Venn diagrams. So now what I want us to do is to focus, if this was your own workbook, which we all know we have these in our own classrooms at school, you would notice that this is what we always have on our first page. We always have a little bit, either like a cartoon or a little paragraph with a photo. It tells me to read the following paragraph about toothbrushes. How does the comparison help you understand the subject? So they're going to be comparing, it looks like, these two types of toothbrushes. Clearly, we cannot recognize that one of these probably looks a little bit more like what we use than the other. So let's take a peek at how they compare them. Like people today, ancient peoples wanted to keep their teeth clean. They also used toothbrushes. However, their brushes were very different. Our toothbrushes are plastic with nylon bristles, but the first toothbrushes were made of twigs with crushed ends. As you can see, modern toothbrush and the one that they made with twigs for the ancient peoples. Now we're going to take a peek over here at what we would do in class as the teacher do. It told me to read the paragraph again, then finish the chart to see how the writer used comparisons to connect ideas. So this I already have done for you. I went back and I reread and I took apart 3 separate parts of the paragraph. And I looked for signal words in each part, and I looked at why did they use that comparison? What was the purpose of it? Why did the author include it in the text? Like people today, ancient peoples wanted to keep their teeth clean. Okay, signal word. I see it as the first word of the sentence, like. The purpose of that is to show one way ancient people were like people today. Okay, we can say like. Okay, if they use the word unlike, then we can see how they were different, but they wanted to show us how they were the same. If we move down here, it tells us they also used toothbrushes. However, their brushes were very different. We have 2 words here that signal to us that we are going to be comparing and contrasting. We have the word also used in the first sentence and the word however used at the start of the second sentence. If you look over here at our purpose, it shows to show a way ancient people were like people today and a way they were different. Okay, just in one little blurb, 2 sentences right there, it shows me one way they're the same, one way they're different, just with those signal words. And the last example we're going to look at is our toothbrushes are plastic with nylon bristles, but the first toothbrushes were made of twigs with crushed ends. Key signal word, but. Purpose, to show how ancient toothbrushes were different from modern toothbrushes or the toothbrushes we use today. Okay, to show the difference. So boys and girls, we can see these are just a few of the signal words that they showed us over here on our first page in the italic writing up here. Now we're going to be looking at the story that you guys are going to be using today to answer some of your questions. You can see up here, we have a nice visual up here of a photograph, and the title of the story today is called The Great Inca Road by Hilary Dumitrescu. All right, let's take a peek. This is a nonfiction text. Make sure you are paying attention to those signal words that we've been looking at. The signal words for comparing, the signal words for contrasting, showing how something is the same and how something is different. Roads are difficult to build and expensive to take care of. However, a great civilization needs great roads. Roads connect people to the goods they need to live. They allow the government to send help where it is needed. Even the most ancient civilizations understood the need for good roads. High in the Andes Mountains, the Incan Empire thrived for hundreds of years. When Spanish explorers arrived in the 16th century, they were amazed by the roads they found. Even the longest Roman road, the Via Appia, was not as long as the Inca's royal way. The Incan road was 3,500 miles long. Like the Via Appia, the royal way connected the capital to other parts of the empire. More roads connected to it. All in all, the Inca road stretched for 23,000 miles. Unlike the Romans, I hope you're thinking in your head like I am right now, is my signal word unlike for how something is the same or different. Unlike the Romans, the Incas did not have wheels or carts. Instead, they rode llamas. These sturdy animals carried people and goods all over the empire. Messengers, known as chaquis, ran along the Inca road. They carried messages from the king to all of his people. The Inca road passed through high mountains. To safely cross the deep mountain ravines, the Incas built amazing hanging bridges. These bridges were not made out of steel like modern bridges. Instead, they were woven out of plant fibers. But the Spanish found that the bridges were strong enough to carry soldiers and horses safely. All right, boys and girls, that is the end of today's story. You have the picture of this also connected to your assignment today on Google Classroom. Please make sure that you are paying attention to the question. Please make sure you are paying attention to go back to the paragraph number that they may ask you to look for. Look for those signal words to make sure that they're looking for something that's the same or something that's different. All right, boys and girls, good luck. We miss you so much. I hope you guys have a great weekend and you are all staying healthy with your families and getting outside whenever you can to get some fresh air. Bye-bye.